Hi guys, it's Bonnie Gale, and today I want to do a short video on what to bring to your tax appointment if you're an entrepreneur and you're going to file your taxes. So a lot of times there's confusion because, when you're an employee, you bring in your W-2 form and basically like anything from your personal side, like if you own a house, you may have like 1098 interest forms that you got for your house for the mortgage interest that you paid, or you may have, 1099 forms or 1098 forms from investments that you've earned interest or dividends on. Hey, Jane. Hey, Shannon. So I want to talk today about what are you going to bring to your tax appointment if you own a business and you're an entrepreneur and you've never done this before, or maybe you have done this before, but you still need to know. Thank you. I love my glasses too. I wonder where I got them from. So what we're going to talk about is what are you going to bring? Okay, so the first thing that hey Shannon, oh no problem, love doing this stuff. Okay, so what are we bringing to our tax appointment? The first thing that we're going to bring is a profit and loss statement. So you need to have paperwork that shows the income that you received and then all the money that you spent for your business categorized out into different categories for your expenses. Hey Christopher. It's nice to see you here. And make sure that, and then there's going to be a number at the bottom, which is either going to be profit or loss at the end of all that. So did you make money or did you lose money? So you're going to bring that in. If you receive 1099 forms, so if you're an independent contractor and somebody gave you a form that said, this is the amount of money we paid you for the work or services that you provided for us over the year, make sure to bring those to your appointment. And then also, if you have any statements, interest statements or dividend statements from corporate bank accounts that you have, make sure that you bring that to the appointment to make sure that that's all accounted for. If you have a bookkeeper, all of that information should be in your profit and loss statement, and you shouldn't have to have a secondary form of that, but you need to make sure of that. So usually you get a profit and loss statement and a balance sheet from the bookkeeper that you can bring to your tax appointment. And then that answers a lot of the questions of what did you spend your money on in your business, so that the CPA can just fill in the reports very quickly. The more organized that you are, the less expensive your appointment's going to be. So if you walk in and you're disheveled and you're disorganized and they have to spend extra time with you, you're going to be spending a fortune on your tax appointment. Okay, so Shannon says, what about continuing education expenses? Okay, so I normally do not log those as continuing education because continuing education has a cap per year of like $600 and something. So normally what I would call them is seminars and conferences, so that you get 100% deduction. So yes, you definitely can write off, the education or the coaching. Like if you have a business coach, you can write that off also under, coaching or consulting. And you need to make sure if you're paying people individually, right, that you are going to issue them 1099s. So a 1099, so if you're a business owner and you're paying people for services and they've made $600 from you and they don't have a corporation, you have to make sure that you issue them a 1099, which is a form that tells the government how much you paid that person. So because if you have a lot of different kinds of expenses that are for coaching or consulting or anything that is a service provider, and they don't see 1099s and you're paying an individual, then you can end up getting fined for that. So you want to make sure to issue 1099s to any of those people that you've paid $600 or more to that do not have corporations and they performed services for you for business. Okay, that means you could hire a coach. And if you paid that coach $1,000 and let's say you paid them to their name, not a corporate name, that person needs to receive a 1099 from you. So, okay, so what are you bringing to your appointment? You're bringing any interest or dividend forms that you receive. You're bringing, this is for your corporation, you're bringing your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. And if what I do with my clients is, because I'm their bookkeeper, is I'm usually on the appointment via phone with the tax guy, so that if they have questions that the client can't answer, usually I'm the one answering the questions. So if you have a bookkeeper, you may want to include them in your tax appointment, even by telephone. That's a really smart thing to do, because a lot of times you can whip through that tax appointment a lot quicker. So that's good. So make sure that you do this. Okay, if you have a corporation, you need to file your taxes by March 15th, okay? If you cannot file by March 15th, you need to make sure that you get an extension form and you file an extension for your corporation. If you're an individual or you have an LLC, you need to file your taxes by April 15th. And if you cannot do that by that time, then you need to make sure an extension is filed on your behalf. If you think you're going to owe taxes, I highly, highly suggest that when you file your extension, you pay in that money. Because if you don't, and then you're going to owe money on taxes, you're going to incur penalties and interest on anything that you filed an extension for if you end up owing money and you did not pay it with the extension. Okay, so super, super important stuff. If you have any other questions on going to your tax appointment, definitely leave them here, and I will be checking this thread, going on today, and I will make sure to keep answering any other questions that you guys have. So make sure to set up your tax appointment now. Accountants are booking up early. I know that the people that I work with are basically booking appointments all the time now, and they're probably pretty booked up because they do a lot of tax returns a year. So it's really important to get your appointment and get yourself set up and get yourself ready and be organized when you go to that appointment, so that you spend less money on filing your taxes. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any other questions, leave them here, and have a beautiful day today.